All right, so get ready because we're going to dive into something a little unexpected today. Hanson, MMMBop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right, that really catchy song from the 90s.
Okay.
Turns out it's way more than just a catchy tune.
Yeah.
And we're going to unpack why that is. We're going to find out what MMMBop can actually teach us about life and relationships and really just making the most of every moment.
It's really amazing what you find when you kind of dig beneath the surface of things that we think we know, right? Like music that's tied to a certain time in our lives, we often dismiss it. But this deep dive on MMMBop, and we're taking our cues from this article, The Fleeting Nature of Life. MMMBop by Hanson from lifearchitect.it, and it's going to give us a whole new perspective on this song.
I am here for it, so let's get into it. Right off the bat, the article points out this contrast, this huge contrast between the song's sound, which is so happy-go-lucky, and then the lyrics, which are surprisingly, introspective.
Yeah, it's like you're hit with this, 1-2 punch. You're, bopping your head, and then all of a sudden these lyrics hit you with some, real existential truths.
It's true, and I think the perfect example of this is right at the beginning of the song. You have so many relationships in this life, only one or two will last. I mean, talk about a reality check. And this isn't just some, teenage angst. It's a really profound observation about human connection, don't you think?
It really is, and what I think is so fascinating is how this actually lines up with a lot of psychological theories on attachment. As humans, we crave connection, but we're always changing and evolving over time. And so naturally, some of those relationships are going to last while others fade away. MMBop just captures that.
It really makes you think, especially today in this world of social media and, all these different ways to connect with people. How do we find those relationships, those really meaningful, lasting bonds? How do we hold on to them?
Yeah, and the song actually hints at an answer to that. It seems to be saying, you know what, focus on quality over quantity. Those relationships where you can just be yourself, that offer you that genuine understanding and support. Those are the ones.
It's like that saying, friends are the family you choose. But how do we choose wisely? How do we know who those people are, the ones who are going to be there for the long haul? And I think the song gives us another little clue in the next line even. So hold on to the ones who really care. In the end, they'll be the only ones there.
Ugh, that line gets me every time. It really speaks to the importance of keeping things authentic in our relationships. It's not about how many friends you have, but the quality of those connections. Those friends that really care, those are the ones that'll stick by you when times get rough.
That reminds me of this one time. Yeah, I remember when I was going through this awful breakup, and I really thought I had this, amazing group of friends, But then when everything went down, it was only a couple of them really showed up for me, and it was tough. It really taught me about what a genuine connection really is.
Yeah, it is often in those really challenging moments when you see what your relationships are really made of. Anyone can be there for the good times, but it's when things get hard that you see who's really there for you.
Absolutely. And you know what else is really interesting? The article then dives into that super catchy chorus, MMMBop. But get this, it's not just a catchy chorus. The article says it's actually a metaphor for time.
Yeah, it's true. MMBop represents how fast time flies by. That feeling when you're like, wait a minute, where'd the day go? Or, hold on, it feels like I was graduating high school just yesterday.
It's so true. And it's funny because I feel like we sing along to these lyrics, but we don't always really get what they mean. But when you think about MMBop as that sound of time just passing us by, it really changes how you hear the song.
Yeah, it really taps into this universal human experience we all have. As we get older, time just seems to speed up, One minute you're a kid and everything feels possible, and the next thing you know, you're looking back and you're like, wait, where did the time go?
It's kind of cool, but also kind of terrifying.
Totally.
But it makes you think, if life really is just this one big MMMBop, how do we make sure we're not wasting it? What can we actually do?
Well, the song actually gives us an answer to that, which I love. Remember that line, plant a seed, plant a flower, plant a rose. You can plant any one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but I think it's telling us to be really intentional with our lives.
It's we have the power to choose, right?
Yeah.
We get to choose what we want to grow in our lives.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our choices have power. What we do today really shapes our future. Are we going to focus on things like kindness and creativity and all the things we're passionate about? Or are we just going to let negativity and doubt, all the bad stuff creep in?
That's such a great analogy.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about your own life,
Yeah.
What seeds am I planting right now?
Yeah.
What do I want to see happen in my life down the road?
And it also relates back to those important relationships that we were talking about earlier. It makes you think, am I investing my energy in the people and relationships that help me grow and make me feel good?
Wow. It's all connected, isn't it? Time, relationships, living with intention. It's all related.
Hmm.
But then Hanson throws us for a loop. They remind us that nothing stays the same forever, even the things we love the most. Because the next line is, in an MMMBop, they're gone.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. Just when you think you're starting to really appreciate what you have, you realize it could all change so fast. Friendships change, people we love pass away, and even our dreams change. It's a lot.
It's like that saying, the only thing constant is change, right?
Hmm.
And it's kind of beautiful, but it's also kind of sad when you really think about it. It's heavy stuff, you know? Like even the things we love most can be gone so fast in an MMBop. It
Yeah.
really makes you want to like hold on to things more, you know? Really enjoy every second.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what's kind of brilliant about MMUp, I think. It's real, it shows us that life has these good parts and bad parts, but it also gives us hope. It reminds us that things might change, but we can still find happiness and meaning right now, today.
So MMBop is telling us to like be present, appreciate the people around us, chase our dreams, basically just make every MMBop count.
Exactly. It's all about being present,
Right.
being right here, right now. And that's powerful stuff, but it can be kind of overwhelming too.
It really can be. So where do we go from here? We've learned so much about MMMBop, but how do we take all this and use it in our own lives?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were saying before about, living with intention. Like, what's important to you? What are the things, the people, the experiences you really care about? Once you know, you can make choices that match what you believe in.
It's about making our own MMMBop something we're proud of.
Yeah, you got it. Design a life that feels good to you, a life that's meaningful. It's about the journey, not just the destination. And even though things will definitely change, that's okay. That's part of life.
I love that. Who would have thought that a 90s pop song could teach us so much? This deep dive into MMMBop has been amazing.
This just goes to show that you can find wisdom in all kinds of places.
Yeah, it's so true. So next time MMMBop comes on, don't just sing along, really listen to the words. Think about your own MMMBop. Think about what you want to prioritize in your life, what you want to focus on, and how you can make every moment matter.
Great advice.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into MMMBop. We'll see you next time.